Hey everyone, my name is Mulder and welcome to GameChron, your #1 stop for tips and tricks on your favorite video games. Today we're talking about Rocket Arena gameplay tips and tricks Boone Beginners Guide. I'll share with you his unique abilities and how best to combo them against your opponents. Those unique abilities are the Blunder Blast, Megadon Scope, and Zeke's Vortex. Along with, I will share with you my 3 artifacts I'm currently using with him that makes him an excellent sharpshooting and frontline fighter. All that and more straight ahead. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for a lot more. This video is heavily requested by you, the viewers, so sit back, relax, and enjoy our Rocket Arena tips video on Boone.
Mega Rocket lost. Incoming Mega Rocket.
Let's start off with his abilities with the Blunder Blast. Now his Blunder Blast has 2 unique abilities. In regular use, the Blunder Blast is a shotgun that shoots a bunch of mini rockets out at once that can do some decent amount of damage and push back against your opponents. This ability alone makes Boone an excellent frontline fighter whenever you're in close encounter attacks, like say if you're playing Rocket Ball or Mega Rocket. At close range, it only takes 3 shots of your Blunder Blast to send an opponent in the red and out of the arena. But what makes this weapon even more dangerous is when you combo this with your Megadon Scope. Now the Megadon Scope, when used, turns your small rockets into a single larger rocket that can be shot at faster speeds and do a lot more extra damage. This single ability then transforms Boone into a sharpshooting fighter. This allows you to place Boone on vantage points to where he can snipe enemy opponents that are trying to capture, say, Mega Rocket points, or in sheer knockout mode, you can just snipe enemies like, say, Kai from a distance without having to worry about getting shot at. Another thing to keep in mind is that these particular rockets can actually bounce off objects and blast behind your opponents if, say, they're taking cover, which then allows you to be creative on how you want to take your shot. Keep in mind that when you are using the Megadon Scope, you're vulnerable on your flanks, but that's when Zeke's Vortex comes in handy. Now Zeke's Vortex can be used in 3 different ways. The first and obvious one is that this can actually allow you to blast off the ground to where you can glide longer in the air and get to vantage points. The second is that you can use the Vortex to push back enemies and send them out of the arena. Zeke's Vortex doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but what's great about this ability is that if you're battling close to the edge of the arena, simply hit your opponent with his Vortex and it will send them flying out of the arena. I've actually gotten to quite a few KOs simply by pushing my enemies out without even doing any damage to them. And the third and final use for the Vortex is to simply save you from being knocked out of the arena yourself. Whenever you're low on health, or if you say you run out of glide and you're about to fall out of the arena, look down and activate the Vortex. The simple blast from the Vortex not only gets you back into the air a little bit longer, but also resets your jumping, which allows you then to glide and safely fly back into the arena. This definitely saved me out of a few close encounters, especially when I was outnumbered. So in combos to you with Boone is that whenever an opponent is too close to you, hit them at least once or twice with your Blunder Blast. Once your opponent's been sent flying, then switch on to your Megadon Scope and use your last few rocket shots to blast them further out of the arena. And if they're still floating, hit them one more time with the Vortex to finish them off. Another great combo to use is that you can use Zeke's Vortex to simply blast off the ground and get to high vantage points, say towers or on top of canyons, and simply use your Megadon Scope to snipe opponents from afar. All this combined makes Boone an excellent frontline fighter, but also even better sharpshooter. He is fantastic whenever you're playing games like, say, Rocket Ball, to where you're on the defense and trying to keep an opponent away from your goal. Boone alone can hold back at least 2 Rocketeers by himself, which then frees up your other allies to move in and either get the ball or finish off any opponents by flanking them. Really try to customize Boone to be an all-out fighter. He can definitely take the amount of punishment, and because he can fly and glide in the air when you hold down the Megadon Scope, this makes him even more deadly long range. Really try to combo your Blunder Blast with your Vortex and then finish them off with your Megadon Scope from a distance. On average, I was ranking between 7 to 12 kills a game with this character. He's just that good. Now let's talk about what artifacts I'm currently running with Boone that makes him such a powerhouse. The first artifact I'm currently running with him is the Blast Bird. Blast Bird automatically, given what level you're at, increases your overall damage for your character. This is excellent, especially when using your Megadon Scope for your single rocket attacks, to where it just fully damages your opponent and sends them flying out of the arena. But if you feel like Boone's taking on too much damage, feel free to switch this artifact out for the Hunter's Idol. The second artifact I'm currently using is Unstable Canister, which every time my blast meter goes up, my overall damage increases, which if you set this on top of your Blast Bird, you're just doing an immense amount of damage right off the bat. But what adds the final coup de grace to this character, and your third final artifact I think you should run with, is the Boom Bit. Every time you KO an enemy with this character, your damage is automatically increased. So if you think about it, if you run all 3 of these damage outputs together, you're stacking on 3 times the amount of damage this character will normally give out. Which, comboing this with his Megadon Scope, you're just gonna blast your opponents off to oblivion, either with close or with long range. Boone is easily one of the most versatile characters I've run with in this game so far. At any given situation, he can be used at both close range combat or long range, depending upon what style you like to play as. has. But because Boone is so versatile, it's easy for him to get outflanked and blasted pretty hard by frontline fighters, say as Blast Spirit or Kai. So definitely try to combo him with other characters like say Izel to keep opponents away from you, and even Mustine for support. Running these two characters along with Boone, you are going to dominate the field in no time, and be raking up those 7 to 12 kill KOs every game like I did. Definitely mix and match which artifacts you best like to use with him and have a blast doing it. And that's it for our quick look at our Rocket Arena gameplay tips and tricks Boone Beginner's Guide. We're coming down to the wire now to our final video on Rocket Arena, so definitely stick around. We've had a lot of fun covering this game, and we're currently covering Destroy All Humans right now in our tips and tricks, but we have a brand new game coming called Pathfinder Kingmaker very soon. We'll be covering a lot of other games coming up as well, say as Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Marvel's Avengers, and so much more. So stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for a lot more. I'm Mulder, and I'll see you next time in the GameChron.